I'm Stephen, USSR Robinson, and you're watching Sport Icons. Papa!
Right, so Deontay Wilder, of course, he's looking for revenge against Tyson Fury on October the 9th. By the way, the undercard is looking pretty good. But is it a fight that we want to see as in the main event, Fury-Wilder Part 3? Not really, for the most part, because obviously we've seen this fight twice already. But if Deontay Wilder somehow pulls off the win against Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder becomes the 5th heavyweight in history to lose the bout and then win it back in the immediate rematch. So he'll be following the likes of Lennox Lewis, Anthony Joshua, Muhammad Ali. There was somebody else, I forgot his name. But he could create a bit of history for himself by becoming the 5th heavyweight to win his belt back in the immediate rematch. So there's a chance for legacy, if for nothing else. Okay, forget about the money and anything. There's a chance for legacy. Anyway, Deontay Wilder, of course, even before he got his world title shot, he stacked up his resume full of absolute bums. And again, let's be honest, even as champion, he defended it against absolute bums. He's had his hands on more bums than Elton John. But either way, as I said, he's in the position where now he can earn good money. And is he going to beat Tyson Fury? Well, we'll have to wait and find out. And I'll explain how I think Wilder may actually possibly beat Tyson Fury. But first things first, Deontay Wilder's statement where he spoke to the PBC podcast. Camp has been going amazing. I've got all the right people I need with me. They've got the same mindset as I. All we are thinking about is violence on October the 9th. It's a family team. My mindset is very violent, but we are approaching the fight with calmness. Expect a new reinvented Deontay Wilder. I'm just ready, I'm excited, I'm truly blessed and happy. Deontay Wilder's statement. As I said, he spoke to the PBC podcast, Premier Boxing Champions podcast. Now, as far as his team is concerned, well, it's good. And you've heard the saying before, a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter, okay? Not that Wilder needs to be too much dangerous, let's be honest. That right hand ain't no joke. It's overrated for sure. Is it the biggest punch in the history of the heavyweight division? Absolutely not. But it's arguably one of the fastest and one of the most effective. That is for sure. Because his power comes from speed, not from natural power. It's speed. Speed kills. David Hay effect. I've said it many times. Now, his new team, of course, well, obviously Mark Breland is no longer there. He was kicked out after he was accused of spiking the water. Absolutely ludicrous, along with the absolutely bottom of the barrel, bottom of the bucket excuses that are just embarrassing, to be honest with you. But still, Mark Breland is no longer there. And what's happening with JD's? That's a very interesting question, isn't it? We don't know. We haven't heard or seen anything from JD's. All we've really seen is Deontay Wilder doing some pad work and some body bag work with Malik Scott, his new head trainer, which does look quite funny at times. I'll give you one example. Deontay Wilder, he's throwing the jab, he's going under the hook and going back to the body and then standing up and just looking at Malik Scott for about 2 or 3 seconds before he goes round the circle and does the same thing again. Do that on Fight Night, see what happens. You can't give your opponent 2 or 3 seconds by looking at him in the eyes without getting banged in the mouth. Okay? So there are certain things that I'm noticing, but again, this is just them just play acting. What's happening in sparring, we don't know. Okay? All these things we'll find out. So either way, him being happy, that's good, okay? That's fine. Now, as far as him being reinvented, well, it's like trying to reinvent the wheel, isn't it? The wheel works, okay? So why try and change it? There's no point, really, is there? You can try and change it, but at some point you're going to go, well, there's no real point to this. The wheel was working fine. And that's how it is with Wilder. What he's been doing has been working for him for a long time. He's been doing it for 12 years, 13 years as a professional. Even longer than that when you add in his amateur experience and of course the fact that he went to the Olympics in 2008 where he won the bronze medal, so joint 3rd or joint 4th place, however it is that you want to look at it, because obviously there's 2 bronze medals. Yes, the 2008 heavyweight division was poor, and when I say heavyweight division, it's the equivalent to cruiserweight. The equivalent to heavyweight in the amateurs, of course, would be super heavyweight, but he was heavyweight, which is equivalent to cruiserweight. Yes, it was a terrible division, but just to get there you have to have some ability about you. You have to be able to box. But as a professional, Wilder never done that. He started to believe in his own hype. All I need to do is be good or accurate for 2 seconds of a fight. Land a big right hand and you're gone. As I said before, it's speed, not power. It's speed. Speed kills. Now, reinventing himself, is he going to reinvent himself? In my opinion, no. He's not going to reinvent himself at all. I think what he's going to do is he's going to come out the blocks against Tyson Fury in round number 1. Why? Because that's probably his best chance of beating Tyson Fury. Catch him cold before Fury starts to get his foot in the fight and he starts finding his own range and his own rhythm. Catch him cold. That's the best way to do it. Or What he could do is what he normally does, lose round after round after round. When it comes to someone like Tyson Fury, how does he get caught? Because at the end of the day, Tyson Fury is one of these guys who, if he don't want you to hit him, you ain't hitting him. When he's switched on, you ain't hitting him. But Fury has moments of complacency in pretty much all his fights. Over arrogance, over confident. This is easy. I have no problems. That's when you release the detonator on him. That's when you catch him. This is why he hit the deck against Nevin Pajek. This is why he hit the deck against Steve Cunningham. Why he got caught twice by Deontay Wilder in the first fight. Overconfidence. He has moments of complacency, which is why he managed to get himself cut quite badly against Otto Wallin, legitimately. Why he was out on Bambi legs in round number 12 against Otto Wallin. Overconfidence. He thought that he was just going to go in there, start throwing bombs and get the job done. Okay? That's what you do. Now, of course, because Fury had it all his own way in the rematch, and by the way, he did not cheat in that rematch. He used some illegal tactics, headlocks, all that kind of stuff, but many fighters do. But because he had it so easy, he may well be going into the third fight truly overlooking Wilder. And he could come unstuck. He really could. But at the same time, I mean, can Wilder become the fifth heavyweight in history to follow in the footsteps of Anthony Joshua and co to get his world title back in the immediate rematch? Well, why not? Fury will lose at some point. The more fights he has, at some point he will lose. Okay, he's not invincible. Sorry, Fury fanatics. He's not invincible. He's really not. And if anybody is really going to do it, it's going to be soon. Because now he's WBC champion, he can't fight the likes of Sefer and Francesco Pianetta and Tom Schwartz anymore. He can't do those kind of fights anymore. He has to fight big hitters, those who come to win. All right? So at some point, Fury may well lose. Is it going to be on October the 9th against Deontay Wilder? Unlikely, in my opinion, much like I said about the first fight, that if Wilder can't beat Fury in that first fight, when Fury was inactive for best part of 3 years, still out of shape, his coordination was terrible. Of course, we've seen that against Pianetta in the fight beforehand. If Wilder couldn't defeat him then, he had no chance in the rematch. And which is why I said, round number 7, Fury will stop Wilder. The tapes are there. Go have a look. I said that Fury will stop Wilder in round number 7. Well, to be precise, I said round number 7 or 8. Just to be accurate. Okay, but round number 7, what happened? But the thing is, now he's going to be thinking, well, this is easy. I've got this in the bag. I've got him figured out. So for Wilder to come in reinvented, he's not going to be able to try new things on Tyson Fury. He can't try new things. He can't do it. And I don't care how many rounds of sparring you have trying these new things. On fight night, it's different. The lights are on you, the cameras are on you, and of course you've got a crowd full of people and you're fully aware that many, many people around the world are watching you. You ain't going to do it. And the moment that you start getting banged in the mouth and you're on the back foot and you could well be in trouble, that's when you revert to type. Wilder fights scared, as Dillian White once told me. He fights scared. He's on the back foot. He looks frightened. That's when he's dangerous. You try backing a dog or a cat into a corner, what's going to happen? Either they're going to cower in there or they're just going to go for you. That's what it is with Wilder. He will fight scared. He's on the back foot. And at some point, he'll just go for it. If he lands that big punch, he's going to be in trouble. He's dropped Fury twice before. Fury ain't the best around the whiskers. He's really not. He lands, there's a very good chance Fury won't get back up again. Okay, so that's his best chance of doing it, just by landing that one big right hand. He ain't going to outbox Fury. Even though, in some ways, does he have a better jab than Fury? I mean, probably not, but in the first fight, Wilder was actually out jabbing Fury. Go watch the first fight. Every time Fury threw a jab and Wilder threw a jab at the same time, it was Wilder's jab that was landing before Fury's. So his jab, based on that first fight, Wilder was out jabbing him. He wasn't doing enough to win the rounds, outside of the 2 knockdowns, of course, but still, he can out jab him. He's proved that he can do it. Maybe do it again. But he's going to have patience. But when you're so delusional, the way that Wilder is, and the way that his mindset works, because he fights on emotion, he's a very emotional person. He's not going to be able to stay focused, have that calmness. When that bell goes, he's either going to have outrageous amounts of energy and just pure anger and go for him, or he's going to have an outrageous amount of nervous energy and he's going to cower up. He's going to have flashbacks of what happened in the second fight. What kind of version of Deontay Wilder is going to come out, we'll have to wait and see. But reinvented, I don't think so. Even if he tries it, it'll only last a round or two. Anyway, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.